I didn't just break up with my boyfriend today. I deleted his ego, and honestly, I haven't slept this well in years. See, some guys think that if a price tag isn't high enough, the item doesn't matter. My ex Mark is one of those guys. To him, everything is about the specs, the resale value, or how it looks on his Instagram feed. To me, value is about the stuff you can't buy back. My mom passed away 3 years ago. She wasn't a rich woman, but she was a gardener. She had this old beat-up cast-iron bistro set that sat on her porch for 40 years. It was rusted in the corners. The teal paint was peeling like a bad sunburn, and the legs were slightly uneven. But that table was where we sat every Saturday morning for coffee. That table held the weight of every secret I ever told her and every piece of advice she ever gave me. When she died, it was the only thing I wanted. I hauled it to our new apartment, tucked it into our tiny balcony, and it felt like she was still there, waiting for me to pull up a chair. Mark hated it. He called it junkyard chic and complained that the rust was staining the outdoor rug. I told him point blank, "Mark, do not touch that table. It's my heart." He'd just roll his eyes and go back to polishing his golden child, a mint condition 1990s. Mazda Miata, he'd spent 2 years and 10 grand restoring. He treated that car better than he treated me. Last Tuesday, I came home from a double shift at the hospital. I walked out to the balcony to clear my head, and my heart just stopped. The balcony was empty, just a clean gray square of concrete. I found Mark in the kitchen making an espresso. I asked him where my mother's table was. He didn't even look up. He just said, "Oh, I finally called one of those junk-away services. I needed the space for my new detailing equipment and some extra tires for the Miata. Besides, that thing was an eyesore, babe. I'll buy you a nice modern set from West Elm this weekend. It'll look way better for the housewarming party." The room went completely silent. It wasn't a loud silence. It was that heavy freezing kind of quiet that happens right before a storm hits. He didn't just throw away furniture. He threw away my Saturday mornings. He threw away the last place I felt her presence. And he did it for tire storage. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just nodded and said, "Okay, I get it now." He thought he'd won. He thought I'd finally seen reason. He went to bed early because he had a big car. Meet the next morning, I waited until I heard him snoring. Then I took his keys and a heavy-duty bottle of industrial-grade paint stripper I'd bought for a DIY project. I walked down to the garage. The Miata was under a silk cover. I pulled it back and it shimmered under the fluorescent lights. His golden child. I thought about my mom's teal table sitting in a landfill crushed under a pile of actual trash because it wasn't shiny enough for him. I didn't just key the car. I didn't just break a window. I poured that stripper across every single body panel I watched as that perfect cherry red paint started to bubble and melt like candle wax. Then I took a bag of sugar and dumped it straight into the gas tank. For the finishing touch, I took a permanent marker and wrote scrap metal across the windshield in huge block letters. When Mark woke up the next morning, he was whistling. He was so excited to show off his car, I followed him down to the garage sipping my coffee. The scream he let out was a sound I'll cherish forever. He fell to his knees. He was shaking, crying, calling me a psycho, screaming that I'd destroyed $10,000 in 2 years of his life. I just leaned against the garage door and looked down at him. I used his exact tone. I said, "It's just a car, Mark. It was taking up space I needed for my memories. Don't worry, though. I'll go to the dealership and buy you a brand new modern Toyota this weekend. It'll be way more reliable anyway. It's just stuff, right?" He tried to call the cops, but I reminded him that the car is technically in both our names for insurance purposes, and he'd have a fun time explaining to a judge why he illegally disposed of my inheritance first. He's packing his bags now. He's calling me unstable to all our friends, but I don't care. He can take his detailing kits and his ruined engine and get out. You can buy a new car.